Wakey, wakey. I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Not in this era, anyway. I wish I could explain all the strangeness, but there isn't much time. The short of it is, you saw my beloved Juno. And for a brief moment, I thought she might occupy this tender body of yours. But something went wrong. And now, she's back out there, adrift. Oh, she was magnificent once. One of a race of beautiful, wonderful creatures. They created your kind. Did you know that? Your people were tools to them. That's all you have ever been. That's all you should ever be. One day soon, I hope. For the world is nearly ready for her return. Wired. Prepared for a second coming. Uh-oh. Here they come. Those Templars. Or maybe assassins this time. Idiots. All of them.
No, don't inject me with the big dumb.
It was her wish that I be here to greet her. It was her experiment that made it possible for my rebirth as one of these things.
Stay down! Get down on your back! Now! He's got a gun!
Guide me into the grave, beloved! I am your instrument!
Put the gun down! Drop it! Drop your weapon! Clear! Clear! Check his vitals. He's bleeding fast. Check the victim.
Are you okay? Can you hear me? Hello? Talk to me. You all right? There you are. Thank God. I hope you feel well. You look good. Can you stand? Good. Try walking around.
Well,
A doctor came by, said there wasn't anything to worry about. That the liquid in the syringe was far, far below a lethal dose. I feel terrible about all this. About everything.
and I think I understand what you're saying now.
It was John
No, Kuzma, I think I completely misunderstood things. The things we found on his computer. The ungodly amount of
An
hentai.
amazing job. Speaking of which, our trailer is finished. Would you like to see it?
The new Fortnite Season Pass trailer.
There we go. I uploaded it to your database. You can watch it here.
Wait, the project development of Blackbeard the musical? Wait.
It really captures the essence of the era. So, take care. And again, thank you.
Remember, all development projects are experimental. Oh, do we get to see, like, the last trailer?
Where pirates rule the waves. These men will discover that nothing is sacred and everyone is committed to rum,
To plunder.
and women.
Hola, ladies.
This summer,
Abstergo Entertainment invites you aboard the adventure of a lifetime. Oh, I mistyped that.
So sharp
Jump your cutlasses, shine your hooks, and sail with the devils of the Caribbean. Gee, I wonder what that was.
Virtual experience is not being rated.
The virtual. Oh yeah, because this game came out like however ago that. Okay, well, again, the story of this game is like, oh, the company is like, oh, we're inspecting into the past to like learn where this observatory is, but to make it seem reasonable, we're gonna have like the fake front that we're making like a video game. Well, we are making a video game and that's how we make money, but really we're looking for the observatory's location. So like, it's funny how like you're playing a video game as like the pirates and stuff, but like the story is you're playing the video game of that pirate to help make a video game of freaking pirates, even though that's not the, it's freaking weird.
You idiot, look at the light.
Isn't that the battery? I think that's the battery. Hello? Hello?
Oh, that's my boy.
Look, sorry about this. My name is Sean, and back there is Rebecca, my partner.
Look at that
in crime.
scruffiness.
Hello.
Bloody
Hello.
good work earlier. Honestly, I mean it. Delivering us all that data. It's really just too bad that our man on the inside...
His looks better than mine.
How to put it? Fanatic. Fanatic is the best word, I suppose.
We take who we can get.
Exactly. Well put. We saw in John an opportunity to burrow deeper into Abstergo's cloud servers and...
I think I had this as one of my thumbnails.
Not realizing, of course, that he was enlisting you to help him. And to blame, should anything go wrong. I suppose it all worked out very nicely in the end. Most of it, anyway.
What Sean really wants to say is, if you're up for more hacking, we are too. John gave you level 3 security clearance before he died. You should use it. The assassins don't have the resources to pay you like the Templars do, but we'll make it worth your while.
That I had in a thumbnail.
Short, Bex. 20 seconds.
All right. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. And top-notch work. Really top. Give yourself a pat on the back. And happy hacking.
So essentially that's like, hey, by the way, if you want to do any more hacking, you can do that. So like, I'll do that at some point since I am planning on 100%ing this game, but not right now. Also, it's so crazy that games like this built up so much for like the whole Juno plotline within the Assassin's Creed series, but then they just like abandoned that plotline at the end of the day, which is unfortunate. Honestly, I'm not 100% certain what John there was supposed to have injected you with. And for anyone confused about who he was the Sage, the same person that was Bartholomew Roberts in the time that we were playing as Edward Kenway, essentially reborn in the present day because he's like born throughout history. I think that this is one of my thumbnail backgrounds as well, that one there. I've used a lot of official art in backgrounds for this series and such. So it's so strange that this is like develops as so much of like a plot point in the series and then they just like don't really flesh it out. Unless they have in games like Valhalla without me realizing because I haven't played that yet. Anyway, yeah, we will come back here at some point to do a bunch of boring hacking, I guess, but I'm missing some things. I wonder how I get the other ones. By like 100%ing everything, I guess? But anyway, this is about where we wrap up our story. Trippy. The loading screen of this game is actually pretty cool, honestly. Ow, that actually hurts my eyes a little bit.
Gentlemen, how do you find it here?
It will work for us. But our goal must be to scatter our operations. To live and work among the people we protect, just as Altair ibn Lahad once counseled.
Well, until that time, it's yours as you see fit.
Edward, Captain Woods Rogers survived his wounds. He has since returned to England, shamed and in great debt, but no less a threat.
I will finish that job when I return. You have my word. Evening, Anne.
Edward?
I'll be sailing for London in the next few months. I'd be a hopeful man if you were beside me.
England's the wrong way around the globe for an Irishwoman.
Will you stay with the assassins?
No, I haven't got that kind of conviction in my heart. You?
In time, aye. When my mind is settled and my blood is cooled.
Sail ho! Coming into the cove!
You're a good man, Edward. And if you learn to keep settled in one place for more than a week, you'll make a fine father too. Of all the money that I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that and all I've done for want of a wit to memory now I can't. So let me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, all the air I had, they're sorry.
And that would be Assassin's Creed Black Flag. My, oh my. It is one heck of a video game, isn't it? One heck of a video game. So the letter that was sent that we got at the end of the last chapter essentially told Edward that turns out he had a daughter, and I believe his wife passed away is how I believe it goes. So that's the way that the game ends. He sails back to England. He finally gets ready to settle down after all this time where he was stubborn, constantly being like, I'm gonna find this fortune, I'm gonna make a name for myself, so on and so forth. At the end, he's finally ready to just accept what he has and be content with that instead of seeking something more for himself and those around him. It's honestly I really actually like Edward's story. This is definitely my favorite Assassin's Creed game. It's definitely not perfect. We've seen plenty of instances of that. His daughter's glitching out here and there. But it's a dang good game.
A ship, Jenny, not a boat.
But did you always know?
No. No, I learned after leaving Bristol.
I like how you can still control the ship on the credits here and
Well,
stuff.
I didn't leave without saying goodbye, that is. It was an arrangement, you see, between your mother and me.
She said you left her. She said you always talked about sailing a boat and making money in the new world.
Hey, whatever, find out what happens afterwards. What, after the credits?
A ship.
Is that the question?
True. But not for a lark. To support us. But take care of her. And you.
Not me. Mother said you didn't know about me. She said you wrote only once a year and that she never knew where to find you.
That's all true, and I'm
What if I just do a full U-turn?
known earlier.
I will turn this ship around! Mark my words!
I hope that I would have.
Consider it turned around.
Well, you were busy. That's what I think.
I was, but
The ship is turned around now. We're not going to
That
England
wouldn't have
anymore. I don't know where I'm going.
Can
What
I
happens
see
with the
your
Edward
boat?
Eddie sails back?
boat.
Well, let's just say
I see
that.
no boat here.
Let's just say there's a little
you?
thingamabob after the credits.
I mean ship, obviously. I don't see the difference anyway.
Are you gonna turn the ship right around?
Ah, it's a very simple one, Jenny. A ship can carry a boat.
I like how there's the continued dialogue
Carry a
on the
ship.
credits and such.
Why then, everything is a ship. Large and small. But for my toy boat, the one I take into the bath with me.
That's a clever way of seeing it.
But yeah, honestly,
Is it
in
hard
terms
to
of
talk
story,
about Caroline, Jenny?
this is my favorite
About your
Assassin's
mother?
Creed story. What is getting stuck in my throat?
No. She
I do
passed
really,
some
really like
days.
the way that Edward develops.
I miss her, but
It's something
all right.
very, very
Is she
unlike
in pain?
all the other Assassin's Creed games
I
I've
don't
played.
know. I don't
Okay, yeah,
think
she did
so.
pass away.
She was very happy for quite some time.
Music is definitely not perfect, but the
Not so
bangers
happy.
in the soundtrack
I didn't see how much
are
after that.
bangers, and they're
Then
freaking
She was
fantastic.
gone.
I love the main themes of this game.
I'm sorry.
The gameplay is hella glitchy. In a lot of
Sorry
places,
I
we've
wasn't
seen
there.
plenty of that.
It's
But-
all right.
It's
You're
generally hella fun,
We're on an adventure.
hella smooth
Only a
most of the
little one, I
time.
hope.
The ship combat
Can't
is
handle
so
many more
good.
surprises.
The world is so satisfying to
You think we'll
explore.
see a whale?
Yes, there's a very good chance.
In my life, I've played 3 games
And what about
that have had an
pirates?
open world that
Will I
felt like
see
they called out
pirates?
to me to be explored.
No.
Assassin's Creed 4, Breath of the Wild,
Not much
Xenoblade
chance of that,
Chronicles
I
X. Those are the
Oh,
3 games I've played that had an open world that
I should
just
have liked to have seen one.
are like, oh, I need to explore
what,
this.
yeah.
I need to do
As soon
everything.
as these winds
I
die,
gotta explore every little bit, see
I'll
what there
let
is, you
steer
know?
The jackdaw. One little trick at the helm before sundown.
Yay!
Oh, there's the whale.
Miss Jennifer Kenway, may I introduce myself?
Jennifer Scott, if you please.
I'm sorry,
My daughter was raised by her mother, Caroline, until she passed away some years ago. Jenny prefers to use her surname to mine.
Please forgive my ignorance.
I will. She may not.
Father, help me.
This little rascal, however, is a Kenway. What's wrong, Hafen?
I can't see the stage.
Up we go. How's that?
Fine. But won't your arms tire?
Hey, I'm not so old as that. But if they do, then we shall quit this posh gig and go and meet your mother for some chocolate and whites. How's that sound?
Yes, please.
Okay, hush now.
Something that I honestly really like about ending the game and the story off that way is the fact that at the beginning of Assassin's Creed 3, so as a reminder, Edward Kenway, who you play as in this game, I'm going to turn this down a smidge here. I love the main themes of this game. Turn that down a smidge here. As a reminder, in Assassin's Creed 3, you play as Connor Kenway. Well, first you play as Hatham Kenway, and then you play as his son, Connor Kenway. So Edward Kenway, who you play as in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, is the grandfather of the protagonist of Assassin's Creed 3. Yeah, that was sort of the epilogue scene. And what's really neat about that is in Assassin's Creed 3, when you initially start out playing as Hatham, you first start out on an assassination mission as him in that same play, or at least in that same theater, essentially. And when he's in the crowd, the person that he's with asks him if he's ever seen it before, and he was like, yes, my father took me once. And then at the end of Assassin's Creed 4, it shows his father taking him once, right at the end there. So it kind of ties up directly that connection between AC3 and 4 and has them kind of lead into one another better in that way, which is honestly kind of fascinating. I think that's actually rather neat. But yeah, so he basically lived out his days in England and stuff, and yada yada, though eventually Hatham becomes a Templar, and then Connor becomes an assassin, so it freaking switches back and forth in the family tree there a little bit. But yeah, honestly, with the overall experience of this game, I'll just go through everything again. In terms of story, a lot of Assassin's Creed games that I've played, at least, have had like mostly straightforward kind of stories. There are some ones out there that have like stood out to me a bit, like, wow, that was really cool. Like AC2, for example, the way that Ezio develops is like, wow, that's cool. I like that. And the way that he develops across the Ezio trilogy is honestly really neat as well. But a lot of the time, it's just like, yep, I'm a dude that's trying to kill baddies. Maybe I'll lose my way somewhere along the way, but like I'll still keep killing baddies, and then bam, that's a story. Whereas in Black Flag, you don't actually play as an assassin for like 90% of the story. Like, you know that they exist, you use their garbs and stuff like that, but Edward is very much like a rogue force who's out to basically, you know, continue building up his pride, make something that he can be really proud of for him and his wife back in England. But maybe he's really doing it for himself at the end of the day. And in that way, the way that Edward is, and the way that he treats like his piracy or his privateering or whatever the heck in the New World, it honestly kind of reminds me of like Walter White from Breaking Bad, where it's like, he says that it's like for his family, and he's trying to do like everything he can to set up his family as best he can, whereas really it might just be a thing about like his own pride, his own honor, his own glory, stuff like that potentially. And I think it's really interesting to see how he develops like past that, how as he's taking out more and more targets, he's asked things like, or he's told things like, the Templars are our family, where's yours? And there's people like Torres who are saying like, your losses are greater than ours, and yada yada. And it really goes to show how he really loses like a lot of the things that he cares about along the way, and learns to keep what matters to him close. I think that it's a really cool way to develop his character, and I honestly really enjoy the story of Black Flag. For the For Edward's story, that is, not the modern day stuff. The modern day stuff is just, it's there, I guess. It's there, I guess. It would have been intriguing to the overall lore, what with Juno and stuff, but like, considering they abandoned the Juno plot later in the Assassin's Creed series, it kind of doesn't really hold any depth or meaning or whatnot. In terms of music, I've never particularly thought that Assassin's Creed games have had like incredible overall soundtracks or anything like that. Usually Assassin's Creed soundtracks to me are like, here's like 1 to 3 like really good themes in the soundtrack, and then everything else is just like par, it gets the job done. And that's the way that it is in Black Flag a lot of the time. Like, there straight up wasn't music a lot of the time. Most of the music in the soundtrack just kind of gets the job done. It's there, maybe you'll notice it a little bit, but like the main themes, when they kick into high gear, they are really good. The main theme of this game, when it's played throughout the story in like really intense kind of parts, and the way that it uses that leitmotif is just like, oh, hot damn, that is a freaking intense moment. So I really like the main themes of this game. I do wish that, I mean, I don't know what it's like in the most recent games. I haven't played the most recent 3 games, but generally in Assassin's Creed games, I find that like most of the soundtrack is just par, it gets the job done, but here's like a select few that are just like so dang good. And that's definitely no exception for Black Flag, but the ones that are good, they are really good. I just wish that there was more attention on like the overall kind of soundtrack and such. That's how I feel. In terms of gameplay, it is definitely not perfect, to say the least. It is definitely far from perfect. We've seen several instances of that across all these streams, and even in this stream alone, we've seen plenty of instances of this game not being perfect. Like, there have been a lot of complaints that people have had about these games, the America's Trilogy games, like combat being too easy. Yeah, I find combat too easy as well, considering I can go around fist fighting everybody with like basically no effort. But even if it's easy, the animations are still, when they work properly, the animations are still fantastic, so satisfying. It feels so cool to be taking on a bazillion dudes at once. It's hella funny to do it with fists and stuff. I have a good time with the combat, even if it is too easy, as a lot of people say. Like, in my opinion, if something's too easy, that's okay, as long as it's still hella fun. And to me, the combat in this game is still hella fun. So, that's a-okay with me, but I can see how it can get repetitive after the whole America's Trilogy in general, so it's probably a good thing that they changed the combat to different things later down the line, and makes sense. The ship combat is so much fun! It's so good! Like, it's so smooth. They improve it even more in Rogue. I really hope that Skull and Bones, like, does wind up releasing, which is going to be, like, sort of the spiritual successor to Assassin's Creed 4 that Ubisoft is releasing. That isn't an Assassin's Creed game, it's purely just, like, a pirates and ship combat game. So, that they start developing after the success of Assassin's Creed 4, so I really hope that releases and winds up being a good game. Would you say that any of the recent AC games are required with Black Flag, or do you consider Black Flag to be superior, like, overall? I mean, I haven't actually played Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla. Like, I'm going through all the AC games in order right now, so once I cover them on stream, that'll be me going, like, into those games blind. Every other main series AC game, at least, I've hopped into before. But, like, in terms of the ones after this, at least, when it comes to Rogue, I do like the story of AC4 a lot more than Rogue. Rogue's is intriguing, but it's not like a masterful story or anything like that, but it's enjoyable and pretty decent. The music in Rogue is pretty good as well, but I think I prefer Black Flag a little bit. I like Rogue's main theme more than Black Flag's main theme by a little bit, but generally in the ways that it's used, I like Black Flag's a little bit more. Rogue has several gameplay improvements that make things like ship combat a bit smoother, and some more tools that you get in your arsenal, which I think is really cool. But, like, Black Flag was like the bigger game that first introduced this stuff. Rogue was just like, let's take Black Flag, make some new areas, like, change and improve some things. So, like, gameplay-wise, I guess you could argue that it's the better game, but, like, you know, Black Flag set the standards and, you know, brought that about first. It's like, well, I was about to say it's like Ocarina of Time compared to Majora's Mask, but those games, even though they reused, like, so much stuff, they're, like, so different in terms of, like, everything that it's not really a fair comparison. But yeah, I actually played a bit of Odyssey, and it was really good. My use of history in video games professor always talked about, like, Odyssey all the time in our classes. Like, whenever he would bring up Odyssey, he'd be like, oh, here's this really cool thing about this game, and it's history. If you can get past, like, spending 80 plus hours just exploring around and doing whatever the heck. So my professor definitely really enjoyed the game, so I'll look forward to hopping into Odyssey eventually. I do own all the AC games ready for this series except for Valhalla, and I appreciate the 25 bits there, Guzma. Reason being that, like, it's gonna be a while before I get to Valhalla anyway. It's probably gonna go on sale at some point before then, regardless. But yeah, so ship combat is great. There are some things that I think could be better, but the things that I think could be better in general with ship combat are things that were, like, mostly fixed by Rogue, honestly. Like, Rogue did a lot of little quality of life things. 25 bits all I talk about right now, but yeah, congrats on beating the game. I appreciate that, Guzma. This has been my first ever full playthrough of something that I've done in cosplay, apart from, like, things that I could beat in one sitting that I did for charity events, like in my Enharmonia cosplay. Like, in which case I've beaten a lot of games in cosplay, like freaking Untitled Goose Game or I Love You Colonel Sanders, the KFC dating sim, which were all during, like, charity events where I was in my Enharmonia cosplay. But in terms of, like, suiting up before every stream, this has been the first time I've done a full cosplay kind of thing, and it's been interesting. Sometimes I overheat a little bit. This feels like I'm wearing like 1.5 hoodies, because it's like, you know, this is a layer and then this is another couple layers, and it's like, you know, it adds up. And then I have like a shirt on underneath, so like, you know, it definitely adds up. It keeps me cozy and warm, I guess. But yeah, in terms of exploration and order of doing things, there's so much to explore. There's so much to collect. The way that I like to phrase it is like, this is a game where fast travel is an option, but most of the time it's more fun to just sail there anyway. Because on the way you could find some uncharted animus fragments, some chests, you could find some new islands to explore that have who knows what on them, maybe some assassination contracts or other collectibles, that there's freaking ships that you can get plunder from and stuff. Are you gonna be doing Assassin's Creed Unity next? Nope, next we're gonna be doing Assassin's Creed first we're not actually done with Black Flag. I do plan on 100%ing this game. So we're actually going to be coming back to Black Flag, doing the rest of what's in its world to 100% it, including the legendary ships. Then I'll be doing the DLC areas for Black Flag. Then I'll be doing Freedom Cry, the DLC side story to Black Flag. And then we'll be doing Rogue, the game that comes after Black Flag. And then we'll be doing Unity, the game that comes after Rogue, even though Rogue and Unity released on the exact same day because Ubisoft is big smart or something. So yeah, in terms of comparison to other Assassin's Creed games, Unity does not have anywhere near the satisfaction of like exploring the world. AC4 is like really unique in the way that it handles, you know, exploring the world and such. Unity's intriguing with like its RPG kind of systems and its customizability, which I think is cool and interesting, but like, I don't know, back in the day when it first came out, it just didn't hook me in as much, but it was the Assassin's Creed game that I was most hyped for by far, probably because of the insane marketing of it, and the fact that the Assassin's Creed Unity trailer is probably the best game trailer I've ever seen in my life, even if the game itself didn't add up to the same splendor that the trailer seemed to portray. And then I played half of Syndicate. Yeah, Unity definitely had the reputation of being the most broken. I have heard that they've apparently fixed a lot of that since then. We'll see if that's the case when we get to it. But yeah, I only played through half of Syndicate. I never actually beat Syndicate. I got kind of bored of it, honestly. But if I'm doing it on stream, I'll probably enjoy it a lot more. And then we'll do like Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla. And we'll also be doing the Chronicles games somewhere in there. Probably between Unity and Syndicate, I'll be doing the Chronicles games, which I've never played before, which are like the spin-off 2.5D Assassin's Creed games that are like short, and there's like 3 of them. I own them now. So, like, we could hop into them at some point. I'll probably do that between Unity and Syndicate, most likely, because I've never played the Chronicles games before, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, there is a bit more to this left. We're going to 100% the main game, then we're going to 100% the DLC, then we're going to hop into Freedom Cry, and probably 100% that, and then we're going to hop into Rogue, and probably 100% that too, honestly, knowing how I am with freaking Black Flag, Freedom Cry, and Rogue. My favorite Assassin's Creed kind of stuff. Hope your PC doesn't get hurt playing these other AC games. You heard they're very taxing on PC. I hope that I get a freaking call from Memory Express saying your RTX 3070 is in, so I can go in and pick it up already. I freaking... Back at the end of November, I believe it was, I put in a back order with them, and it's still not in. I guess blame NVIDIA or whoever the hell's producing this. I don't know why they're still constantly sold out, but like, I mean, it'll be a while before we get to those anyway. And if... like, Unity is going to be the one where we come back to PC for playing it. Like, I'm playing all the America's Trilogy games on my Switch. And we'll be coming back to PC starting at Unity onward. So if I don't have my better graphics card in by then I'll probably just take a break from the Assassin's Creed series until I do. But it's still going to take me a while to get through those, so I hope that my new graphics card is in by then. But, like, there's no rush getting through all these games. I took, like, half a year break between AC3 and AC4 to, like, catch up on other games. So, like, I can always take a break from the AC series if I need to. It's not like taking a break in the middle of a playthrough. It'd be taking a break in between games in a series, which, you know, makes a whole lot more sense. So if I need to take a break between games, I will. We shall see. But we have plenty of games that I can still do on the Switch and stuff. Hold on, was there anything else that I was saying for gameplay in terms of my review? I mean, the graphics kind of bugged the hell out on the Switch a decent bit, and in gameplay we had some really, really strange glitches happen a few times. We got 2 T-poses this stream alone. This session, we got T-poses twice. Like, and in previous streams, I've been sent out of bounds. I have been freaking stuck inside a ship. I have had a ship get sandwiched between 2 other ships. We have had some very, very wacky things happen in this playthrough, to say the least. But, like, it was usually nothing too terribly bad, or sometimes it would be kind of game-breaking. But at least it would be game-breaking in, like, a funny way, where it's like, I can forgive the game for doing that because it makes me laugh at seeing something so ridiculous in terms of glitches. So there's that, I guess. So it's definitely not a perfect game. I do feel like a lot of the missions could have been, like, better handled and stuff. I don't really like rating things on 1 to 10. I don't know if there's, like, a way that I can... Like, because what do you set as a 10? What do you set... Like, is 10, like, a perfect game? Because I don't think I've ever played anything that I would rate, like, a 10 if that means perfect. And my favorite game of all time... Hold on, let's set a standard. Let's actually set a standard for this. Like the dead T-pose still alive guy. Yep, there's that happened. Edward also T-posed this stream. Let's make this relative to something. Like, for example, in Taekwondo events for my school, whenever we're rating people's poomsays, their patterns of movements to one another, me and the other judges always rate the first person a 7. And then we rate the other people based on that first person. If the next person does a little bit worse, then we'll rate them like a 6.8. If the next person does a little bit better than like the first person, then maybe like a 7.1 or 7.2 or something like that. If the fourth person does a little bit better than the second person, but worse than the first person, then like a 6.9 right in between. So we have something relative to go to it too, instead of 10 being perfect. So let's do something. My favorite game is Explorers of Sky as well. If I had to rate Explorers of Sky, like, assuming that 10 is perfect, let's say that Explorers of Sky is a 9. And that's literally my favorite game of all time. I've still yet to play a game that I would consider perfect. Let's say that Explorers of Sky is a 9. And let's say that Roller Coaster Tycoon World is a 0. Is that the best comparison? So it's like, yeah, sure. Let's say Explorers of Sky is a 9. And Roller Coaster Tycoon World is a 0. I was just thinking, is that a fair comparison? Because I freaking would put Roller Coaster Tycoon World in the negatives. That game is like how to torture information out of somebody, get them to play Roller Coaster Tycoon World. But assuming that's a 0 and Explorers of Sky is a 9, I would rate Black Flag as a 6.5 maybe. Something like that. Which, considering the way that I would rate things, is freaking hella good if I'm giving freaking Roller Coaster Tycoon World a 0 and Explorers of Sky a 9. Like, if I had to put other things into perspective, I would say... I don't know if there's anything else I can put into perspective for that. Like, if I say something like 6.5, I mean that in, like, the best possible way. It is so dang good. Like, it has its problems, but, like, from the perspective of my favorite game of all time potentially being a 9. Maybe do that with Black. Maybe 7 at best. Something like that, which, in my eyes, if I'm saying that 10 is like a literally perfect game, then something like a 7 is hella good. But by like most reviewers' standards, it'd be bad. Most reviewers, like big reviewers like IGN would be like, oh, if the game is like okay but kind of crap, here's a 7. If the game is garbage, here's a 6. If the game is decent, here's an 8. If the game is great, here's a 9. If the game is fantastic, here's a 10. And that's how other reviewers would go. If I went by the standards of like other big reviewers, like IGN or whatever the heck, or just general big reviewers on YouTube, if I went by those kind of standards, then I would say that Black Flag is a solid anywhere from 9 to 9.5. if I went by those kinds of standards. Is what I'd say. You give it around 9.5 because the only slight problem you had with it, repeated dialogue quite often. That's the only problem you had with PMD Explorers of Sky, because I have a lot of problems with Explorers of Sky. Like, this is a conversation for another day. I think it's even happened in the Discord server before, but I definitely have a lot of problems with Explorers of Sky. It still remains my favorite game of all time, though, just because it's had such a personal impact on me. There's been a lot of people working on this game, and this main theme is so good. Like, you gave Caution Press 1 8 out of 10 for how much you enjoyed it. It's pretty much just how you personally enjoyed the game, you played or not. Yeah, if I do, like, more review-type videos of games in the future, I think I'm probably going to refrain from, like, giving an out of 10 rating. Because my ratings for things would be Black Flag be, like, if I was looking at, like, a 1 to 10, and I was rating, say, Black Flag, and I gave it, like, a 7 or something like that, people would look at that and be like, oh, a 7? You must have really not liked Black Flag. How can you say that about that? Whereas in my eyes, a 7 is like, holy crap, this game is fantastic and one of the best open world games I've ever played in my life. You know, but it doesn't go up to like an 8 or 9 of like a masterpiece of a story, an absolutely breathtaking soundtrack. Yada yada, you know, if that makes sense. So if I ever like wound up making reviews for things, I would express all my opinions on the game, but like not give things an out of 10 rating, just because people would like misinterpret my standards for things if I gave it like out of 10. Because like in my eyes, if I give something a freaking 7 out of 10, then that's a freaking fantastic game. Should I just like skip the rest of the credits? I can, right? Yeah, plus. Oh. Oh, what? No! Progress tracker? I can quit. I just gotta sit through this. But yeah. Then people will make an issue where you don't at the same time. What, where I don't give things an out of 10 rating? That's, yeah, I guess that can be true, but like, you know, everyone has like different standards. Like, if I was rating things like a freaking big reviewer would for things like Explorers of Sky, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2, Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, Octopath Traveler, my 5 favorite games of all time, they'd all be getting 10s. But like, I do think some of those are better than others of those, so it would be fair to give all those 10s, for example. So, there's that. So I mean, we definitely do have a decent bit left to do here in Black Flag, is a thing. I've never actually done the DLC areas before. I've done the DLC side story of Freedom Cry. I've never done the DLC areas in the main game, so I'll be going into those blind. That'll be interesting. So we'll see how those go. And there's still like 8% completion within the main thing. I'm gonna have to like redo some story missions to get the optional objectives, and I'll need to go do the legendary ships at some point. But yeah, just making a review based on what you liked and dislikes for every certain part of the game, like story, gameplay, music would be better. That's what I did with Breath of the Wild, and it wound up being a 3-hour video. So I don't know if I'd ever, you know, do stuff like that. But I mean, I went freaking ham on Breath of the Wild because I had a lot of freaking deep opinions on that. I could probably make something much shorter on stuff like this. I don't know if people would be interested in me actually giving like reviews on games though, is the thing. I'm not 100% certain, rather than just giving it a 1 to 10 rating. I mean, yeah, I would probably do that kind of format of like story, music, gameplay, probably in that order. That's kind of what I've done for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, my videos on those. But yeah, I don't know if anybody would actually be interested in like review type videos. Like in Xenoblade and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, in that video series, it's more of like an analysis of how they changed over their originals rather than talking about how they are as a game. Talking about how they are as a game compared to the first version of them that came out, and how they changed and made improvements, or where they didn't make improvements and where they should have and stuff. There's like a loose hair somewhere in my face here. So that's not exactly a review, more of like a comparison and stuff. Yeah, the 3 different videos. The third one still isn't even out at the time of streaming this. It's done. I can upload it when I want to, but like I'm trying to space them out a little bit, so I'm not 100% certain when part 3 is. But like it's done, and the thumbnail is done because I had the part 3 thumbnail done before the commission of the part 2 thumbnail was done. So like it's technically done. I just need to like figure out how I'm spacing out my current projects, because I have 2 more video essays that are in progress. One of which is like 80% done, and the other one of which is like 65% done, maybe 70% done. Like it's definitely up there. I don't have thumbnails for them though, and I don't know how I'm gonna space things out as the thing. But yeah, I don't know if anybody would be interested in review type videos. I could definitely do them, but like big stretch from Noogie. I could definitely do review type videos. I just don't know if it'd be something that people are interested in. So, I don't know, maybe one day. But yeah, I don't really have a whole bunch else to say with this. I really can't skip this unless I exit the Animus, I guess. But yeah, I do adore Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's definitely my favorite Assassin's Creed game. It's loose hair. It's so good. It's so satisfying. It's a freaking fantastic game. And with like the price of the Rebel Collection being like, what is it? A slightly more than half the cost of a full-priced game, but still going on sale for like 30 Canadian or 20 bucks US all the time. Whenever it goes on sale, I would recommend to anybody who has a Switch who enjoys open worlds with things to explore to pick up this game. Like, any fans of open world exploration that own a Switch, when this goes on sale, this is the game to pick up. Absolutely. I will absolutely recommend this game. It's so dang good. But yeah, that's basically my opinions on that. When it comes to video essays, I have part 3 of Xenoblade Definitive versus Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX coming up at some point. But after that will be freaking Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and an analysis of my favorite part of that game and my least favorite part of the game. Favorite being leitmotifs and least favorite being how that game handles progression. And I might try to find an artist to commission for a thumbnail on that, otherwise I'll just throw something lazy together myself. And then the one after that is the one that I've been working on for Fire Emblem Three Houses, where I don't know if I should do a thumbnail of that myself. I don't know if I should commission an artist. I don't know what kind of thumbnail I would commission in that case. So those have been in progress. I've been balancing a lot of things right now. I've been working on those video essays kind of simultaneously. I've been balancing uni stuff. A whole bunch of uni stuff is coming up. I need to, for a couple days from now, I have to have like a final rule set for a game turned in that we're developing in this game design class with my team with 2 other members. So we got to turn that, and it's not anywhere close to completion. And among other assignments at university. And I got an email the other day from someone that I've done work for in the past being like, hey, I need help. I need some hours in, like, I need some data entered and stuff. So like, I'm gonna have to. So I'm kind of getting brought back to one of my jobs to help things catch up there. All while trying to also figure out how to get like Fire Emblem Fates all properly working for whenever I start that. And organizing 3D World stuff with Shuck and Anima for tomorrow, which can hopefully go on and be a-okay. I'm balancing a lot of things right now. Like, it's almost tempting to like switch the game to something else after this stream and go on a little bit longer, but like, I have a lot of things I really need to catch up on. It is crazy. Assassin's Creed Legendary Pack you bought on PlayStation for $60 is on sale again for the same price only 2 weeks after the first time Ubisoft games go on sale like crazy. Yeah, they really like putting their games on sale. They put them on sale a whole lot. Hello, Antho. Welcome to the end of this game. I don't actually recall what that means. I really hope that it's not anything that's offensive. It might be. I don't think it is, but I really hope so. I'm sorry. Sometimes I've had like bad situations of people coming in here and saying things that they shouldn't. And yeah, there's a lot of people that worked on it. This reminds me of the GTA 5 credits, a game I've had fun with, but I will never play on stream. That is, not never play, but never play on stream because it's so far from like my other content. I don't really want to associate with that kind of thing. Havoc Software 2019, I guess because this is like the 2019 release of like the Switch version with like all its features like motion controls and yada yada. So there's that. All right, looks like we're probably at the end of the credits. There's a violation of federal copyright law to copyright, duplicate, or reproduce this program, yada yada, is the thing here. I don't speak any Spanish. I really hope that this isn't anything that like, you know, is, you know, no bueno or whatnot. But I mean, so, oh, so some more stuff opens. I thought for sure that there was like a mission that we do that would show us where we use the stones. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but this is an English stream. I speak a little bit of German, but Otherwise, this is pretty much an English-only channel, is the thing. And it has to be kept as such. So, I guess a whole bunch more naval contracts open up after you've beaten the story. And some more Templar hunts. It just says gain money medium, so I assume it doesn't give, like, any more collectible kind of things. Huh, so we have a whole bunch more available to do now, is the thing. We basically 100%ed the world when it comes to what was there before. But now there's more stuff, and I wonder where we get the Mayan armor from. Because I could have sworn that there was like a story mission. Maybe I'm thinking of Rogue, where you're directly shown like the thing that you can gather the keys for. I'm thinking of Rogue, aren't I? When it comes to the Mayan statues, I must be. So we have a decent bit around the world here. So there's more to do than I thought. We have a decent bit of this game left, don't we? Right? Wait. Why does it still show them as 100%? Wait, what? I thought it just showed me more stuff to do. Was that just showing the total amount of stuff? Wait, what? What was it just showing me? I thought there was more stuff. That was just the stuff I already did. Why did it show me that? Is it bugged out? Is it supposed to show you the ones that you have left? But if you do them all first, it's just... Yeah, it's done. The world is mostly 100%ed. I've just got things like legendary ships and whatnot that I have to prepare for next time, and that could well be Hawks. What the heck? I think I've gotten all the Mayan keys. I think we got a notification of that earlier. I'm just gonna... Hold on. Assassin's Creed Black... Well, maybe we should save getting that armor for another time, and then I can have a part, like, directly for that. Maybe that's a better idea. Maybe that is a better thing. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna be wrapping up the stream in a hot second here anyway. Is the thing. Oh, it's probably here. Most likely. That's one with like the different symbol compared to the other places. But we can save that for like its own part. Is the thing though. Since we are still gonna keep on doing some more Black Flag. Wait, where are the legendary ships? Wait. Wait. Is part of the world not like spawning because I'm not at open sea? Hold on. If I go to sea, hold on. Sail to sea. Because the legendary ships aren't there. Why are the legendary ships there? I would like to fight the legendary ships at some point. I still forgot to refill on mortar shot and stuff. Whoops. I can fast travel to one of the forts and do that before I wrap up this stream. Oh, and we can access the fleet before I wrap up this stream. Okay, yeah, the legendary ships are there now. Just wasn't showing part of the world there. Weird. Weird. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go after some great whites. I don't know where they are, but I mean... We'll have to go after some of them at some point. Is the thing. Apparently the word he used is a racial slur, so yeah. Ew! Yeah, I wasn't 100% certain. But like... So I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I thought that it might have been. So, you know, there's, none of those allowed in the stream. I was gonna try to end the stream on a high note, but I mean, well, that's what it means by dictionary. Well, hold on, I'm gonna refill my consumable ammos for the ship before I forget, and then we're gonna go to the fleet. Is what we do. No thank you. I'm fine. I don't think there's any lawmen after me. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I don't need to repair a ship. I would like to buy some ammunition, though. I don't think I need to blur it out. We've just, you know, established that it's... No. Okay, Kuzma, when I said that I wanted to end the stream on a high note, I didn't mean that you had to do something freaking... crazy generous out of nowhere to freaking do that. My goodness. Well, I appreciate the gift sub, Guzma. Freaking absolute generous mad lad. That was not what I meant by I wanted to end it on a high note. My goodness. And yeah, now I know the thing. My goodness, Guzma, you're absolutely insane. I appreciate I appreciate the gift sub there. You absolutely did not have to do that, but I appreciate it. Appreciate it all the same. And I appreciate the 3 bits there as well, Hawks. This is not what I meant. No, I was not trying to. Dang it. Well, gosh darn it. I was not trying to be like, hey, freaking time for people to bring this up to a high note again. I did not mean that. No, that is not what I meant. Okay, we're just gonna access the fleet before we're done here and stuff. I appreciate the 100 bits as well, Mortis.
Have a shamrock.
Have a shamrock. I appreciate the shamrock. Let's go salvage a ship from the fleet. My goodness, absolute mad lads. Let's get rid of one of these brigs, I guess, and then wait, did I not get rid of that one? Oh, because it was on cancel. Ship sunk. I don't even salvage it. I just okay, and then we add this, and we salvage a absolute mad lads. But in all honesty, thank you all for your mad ladness. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Freaking stopping by and hanging out is already more than enough support, considering that, you know, there's like 5 million monthly streamers and 500 hours of YouTube videos uploaded every minute. So any time already spent here is like already so much more than I could ask for, you know? I got a teapot apparently. So, you know, going a step further and being crazy generous mad lads, it's just like, my goodness. My goodness gracious. So give 100 more bits, you think it's a hype train? It might be. It might be out of the time. I'm not 100% certain. I think it might be out of time. I forget exactly. Is it a 5-minute period? Is it a 1? I don't even remember. It might be 5-minute period. I don't even know. I forget how they worked, and it would have to be like different events. So I think even if Guzma did, I don't think it would count. If that was the case. Now we can go some of these things. I appreciate the 100 bits more Mortis Vault. But the thing about hype train thingamabobs is they have to be like events by different people. So that doesn't actually trigger a thingamabob. So that is not actually the case. I'm sorry to say, Hawks and Mortis, but I appreciate the 100 more bits all the same, even if it didn't give the expected result, if the expected result was the freaking Twitch hype train mechanic. I don't think I have any other new things. We've almost completed Kenway's fleet, but y'all are freaking gonna break me out here. Y'all are freaking insane, and I don't know how to properly thank for generous mad ladness. Well, there's nothing else that's new at the moment. I may as well send people on things. It's like, don't worry about that, Hawks. Is a-okay. Is a-okay if we don't have a train. I'm already... Oh, maybe I... Oh, that was a 76% chance. I should have... 86? I should make this route safer. Oh, darn it. Whatever. 25, 30. I've been getting any stinking ads for them. I know the feel. I guess we'll see what happens when we send ships on potentially unsuccessful missions. That's probably not a good idea, but like... Do I have any man-of-war ships? Yeah, I have some. Hold on. Do I have any big deliveries here? Hold on a hot second, because I may as well do some things here. Yeah, I wish I could get ad bits, but like, I can't. And stuff. Thus is the life here in Canada. Yeah, we could do this and it has 100% chance. You know? Go and repair the thingamabob. Let's just do some safer routes, I guess. Northwest Europe, one is available here. Sure. Yeah, let's just go do some stuff, and then it'll be running, like, while I'm not playing the game. And then it'll be done by the time that, like, I'm back and stuff, you know? So it's not a bad idea. I can only do 40 there. Unless you have to get them in a holiday time, I don't get them, like, at all. That's the thing. Ad bits. I wish. Apparently, in the States, it used to be possible to get, like, a lot of ad bits. Like, for example, Carvia in this channel has reached over 10,000 bits. Apparently, those are all from ad bits. Like, back in the golden age of freaking ad bits on Twitch and stuff. Sure. So I gotta play a bit more for any of the stream. I'm just sending out ships in the fleet so that they're, like, done by the time that I hop into the game again, is what I figure. So I figure may as well. Or something. Well, I may as well do some of these, I guess. Sure. Let's just send out random stuff. That's what we do. they'll all be, these are short ones, but like, whatever. Whatever, I guess. Wha-bam! Sure, that'll all be done by the time that we are back playing this game again in stuff. So yeah, just getting that set up. So next time will probably be the legendary ships. Probably. I mean, we'll go do the story stuff. Well, we'll go do the side missions in the thingamabobs that I missed. Hold on. Crafting is unavailable at this time. Hold on a hot second. Progress tracker. Because, okay, so I'm at 92% on side activities. I've gotten all the collectibles. So we've got all the naval forts, we've gotten all the viewpoints, we've gotten all the mine stella, we've gotten all the taverns. I haven't gotten all the buried chests. There's, oh yeah, there's still 2 treasure maps. Is the thing. So I guess we'll use the 2 treasure maps. And then we'll have 100% in side activities. We're at 97% now. I guess the main story counts as like most of it. Nice. So we're at 100% on that epilogue. 100%, 100%, 100%. 100%. 100%. Ah, there were some ones that I missed there. Kill guards while hanging from a ledge. Yeah, so we will have to go back to some missions here and there. Because it looks like early on I wasn't as intent on getting 100% in everything. Wait, so did the legendary ships not even count towards a sync? That would be really nice. So I can have 100% in save file without the legendary ships being done, since I want to like undo having them done so that they're always there and available, since once you take them down they're gone forever, and I want to like revert that, undo it, unless that's what, oh, that's probably what that thing is right there. That's why side activities is at 92%. Yeah, it's a bar that I'm skipping here. Dang it. Well, we're gonna have a 99% in save file. It will be basically 100% because I will take down the legendary ships. I'm just gonna undo it after I've done it, because if you don't do that, then you can never do them again, is the thing. Because even though you can replay any of the story stuff here anytime you want, you can't replay the legendary ships, which I think is really, really dumb, quite frankly. So I'll be doing that and stuff. So we have some things for next time. Look at that, 97%. In case anybody wants to like read that and pause and stiff. But yeah, that will pretty much wrap things up for Black Flag for now. We've wrapped up the story. We've still got a decent bit more to this game. Oh, I'm gonna have to go into the freaking modern day stuff and do the hacking and the QR codes if I want 100% this. Oh no. Well, doesn't that suck? Look at that, 97%, bootyful. That 3% is gonna be a lot more than it seems though. And then eventually, oh no, not Aveline, is the thing. I guess it initializes the whole other game thing here. And then after we're done and 100% with Black Flag, we'll hop into Freedom Cry, which I already did like the freaking joke 2-hour speedrun of during the last stream when Black Flag didn't work. And then we'll hop into Rogue, the other game in this little thingamabob here. And then eventually Unity. Eventually. There might be a little bit of a break between Rogue and Unity. I don't know. We shall see. I don't know how much of a break there's gonna be between games. But we're done with the story of AC4. It's been a good long ride. I enjoyed doing my first ever cosplay playthrough of something like this. It was interesting. Maybe one day I'll do a cosplay of Pokemon Black and White as Enharmonia. But like, that's the only other cosplay I have that can match to a game as a thing. My Edward Kenway cosplay and my Enharmonia cosplay are like my 2 cosplays that I haven't done more than that. But yeah, hey, well, I hope you have a good one, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and same for everyone else here. Y'all have a good one. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out, Guzma, and everyone here. Guzma, Mortis, Hawks, and anybody else who could be lurking. I appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging out. And we will be continuing with Black Flag, because I love this game. I do love this game. But that will be it for that. This has honestly been a fun time. I've enjoyed this game. I look forward to continuing to enjoy this game. I look forward to freaking Rogue and stuff. I don't know what I'm going to think of the Assassin's Creed games past this in terms of like their exploration, my satisfaction in completing it. Well, I'm probably not going to 100% the Assassin's Creed game is past this one. But, you know, I'll 100% these ones. So once again, thanks all who stopped by and hung out. And I'm going to go like pass out or something after I do some work and stuff. So take care, I'll see ya.